Hello, everybody, and welcome to Durfee Rocks. Do you like the name, Thomas?
I love the name.
Durfee. Used to be Durfee Rocks the house.
Yep.
But we're abbreviating that. It's Durfee Rocks. The experience of former public schools and Durfee High School is a rocking experience. Okay, and that's what's up. So you like the name?
Love the name.
You love the name. I love it. I love it too. Just that interesting young man, Will Silva, who you're familiar with, right?
Yes.
Great story. From Brazil to the gutter academically, and then cleans himself off and focuses and gets into Brown.
Yeah. Crazy.
Were you there when he was cleaning his academic act up? Were you spending time with him at the time?
I've had classes with him every year, so I was with him freshman year, knowing seeing what he was doing, and I have classes with him this year too, so I've seen the improvement.
So you've seen the progression.
Yeah.
So you must be proud of him.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Is he a friend of yours?
Yeah, we're friends.
Sure.
So
you must be proud of him, right?
yeah,
Awesome.
It's insane.
Awesome. Yeah, it is. It's a great story. Yours is a little different because you're like you're former royalty, Durfee royalty especially.
Yep.
You got a long family history. You know, your mom is a Karam.
Yep.
You know, your dad Josh and me grew up very close to one another with the Spencer Borden, him and his brother. I knew your grandmother, God rest her soul. She was an amazing woman.
Thank you.
So his story's a little different than yours. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little about who you are, what you're doing now. Just give us a quick little bio.
All right, basically, senior at Durfee High School.
Sure.
I've applied to colleges. I don't know where I'm going yet, but
you are in the top 10. Am I correct?
I'm number one.
Number one in it. Can you believe that right there? The number one ranked student in Durfee High School. What a tremendous accomplishment. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, has the Karam ever been number one?
No Karam has ever been.
Whoa. That is amazing. Wow. What an accomplishment. How did you pull that off? I know you're bright. You come from good stock, certainly. Talk to me about that. Number one.
I mean,
wow.
My parents have definitely been pushing me hard since I was young, but also I've been working hard myself too and studying.
But you're well-rounded too. You play sports. You do.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you involved in other than academically?
So I play golf, play tennis.
Sure.
I'm in student government, National Honor Society. Also, I volunteer tutor once a week too. Work at the country club during the spring and the
So
summer.
you're working, you're tutoring, you're doing the National Honor Society stuff. Okay, you're playing sports, and you're number one.
Yes.
That's amazing. You should be tremendously proud. Are you going to finish number one?
I hope so. I mean, right now it looks like it, but who knows? There's still 2 terms to go. But I think I will.
That is amazing. Was your mom top 10?
My dad was. My mom was not.
Your was not. That's interesting. Now, when did you stop paying attention to your class rank?
I started they give it to you in your transcript, and after freshman year, I think I was either 4 or 6.
Yeah.
And then, so I knew I was up there, and then I was I can do even better.
So the competitive side of you said, okay, I'm this close, I'm gonna chase this down.
Exactly. I'm a very competitive person. So if I was that close, good. I knew I could. And then by the end of sophomore year, I was number one, and I've kept it.
And you've held the title.
I've held it so far
for 3 years.
Yeah.
So. How much work is it?
It's a lot of work, but if I'm pretty good at time management too, so I can. Especially with playing sports and stuff too, you got to learn how to manage your time. So once you learn how to manage your time, it's not that bad. But it definitely is. You got to be devoted.
Talk about the education that you got at Durfee. We're going to come back to this towards the end of it, but just talk me about what's the educational experience. What's the quality of life, the life experience as a Durfee student? I like to say first and foremost, it's an education in life.
Yeah.
Multi-races, multicolored,
definitely
diverse. It's
you
very representative of the world that we're living in.
Yes, I would agree with that. And also, the teachers care a lot about the students, and there's so many different types of students, but they learn how to. I think the teachers are very well rounded, and they know how to cater towards different types of students too.
Sure.
They're teaching different types of classes, some advanced classes, and then you have some with the bad behavior, and you got to know how to work with all those kids too.
And all those people, they work in that building, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Talk about growing up in Fall River as you did. Both your parents are Durfee grads. You're kind of like the old school Durfee student for the most part, where there was no doubt that you were going to go to Durfee. Am I correct about that?
I knew I was going to Durfee since.
And you knew you were going to the public schools.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. What was your family life like? What was the academics? What type of emphasis was placed on academics? What's your first experience of sitting down and having schoolwork to do when you'd rather be doing something else? Let's talk about the early years. Let's talk about, third grade, fourth grade, where, the testing starts coming into play and all that stuff.
So my parents, especially my mom, emphasized academics when I was really, really young. I remember they'd always have me reading books and stuff, but even I was more of a math kid than a I think my first word was actually a number. That's just how much of a math kid I was. So they were always when I was in first grade and we were just learning addition and subtraction, I was so ahead of everyone that they were teaching. My mom's going through my times tables with me to teach me my times tables because it was just I was so exceptional at math. And even in the summer, I remember I'd want to be doing stuff outside, which they didn't always make me do this, but maybe once a week or something, there was these little books that I had those work books that you had to because we didn't have summer homework.
So academics was omnipresent.
Yes.
As well as athletics and other socialization type things.
Yeah, I was playing basketball, baseball, floor hockey too. So I was definitely involved in sports.
When did you start getting challenged academically in the former public school system? Who was the first teacher to really to maybe knock you out of your comfort zone and you say, hey, listen, this is going to be as easy as everything else has been?
Probably maybe fourth grade. And I remember we were starting reading more challenging books and stuff, and having to do things with those books that we hadn't done yet before. Before it was just basically reading, but once you had to start analyzing the books too, because English isn't my strong suit. That's definitely my
readers comp stuff like that. Okay.
So that was probably when it started.
What was the name of the teacher?
Miss Fasciano.
Okay. Heard a lot about Miss Fasciano. Yeah. Now, they said the Gifted and Talented?
Was Gifted and Talented.
So you left Tansy to go to Gifted and Talented?
Yes.
Was that a difficult decision for you to make?
No, I mean, my parents already, had decided, thinking that I was going to get in Gifted. They always pushed me, you got to get in Gifted and Talented. And when I did, it was, a given. I mean, it was hard leaving friends because most of all my friends that I made were at Tansy. And then I was the only one from Tansy, out of the boys, to get into the Gifted and Talented program.
Really?
So
I'm surprised. Usually Tansy...
there was a ton of girls, but the guys, all of them ended up staying at.
Sure.
So
you move into a new place, you get Mrs. Fasciano, and you're out of your comfort zone a little bit, right?
Definitely.
So how do you respond to that?
Well, I responded by making new friends. I think one of them's actually coming on the podcast this week, Nick Souza.
Oh, yeah. I know all about Nick.
Yep. So
I'm looking forward to having Nick on here.
Yeah, Nick's a good guy.
He is a good guy. He's a character.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But
I'm friendly with his father, his mom, his family, his uncles. So, yeah.
He was one of the people that I connected with and I kept branching out, meeting new people. And, yeah, I did enjoy my time at Sylvia, definitely.
Were you challenged there often? After you get over the initial readers comp type challenge? I mean, what was the next academic challenge for you?
The next academic challenge? I mean, math wasn't too... There were definitely, some days when we'd have, challenging problems and stuff, and, it would, take, a lot of work. But I don't think I was too challenged in math.
Was paying attention ever a problem for you? Were you distracted easily? Were you a chatty patty?
Yeah, in elementary school, I talked a lot because I was just, so...
social.
Yeah, I was social, and I knew what was going on, and, even if other people didn't know what was going on, I could
Yeah.
like pick up on it quick. So I'm definitely not like that as much anymore. Like,
Where did you realize? Was there a time and point in the given time where you said, "Listen, this subject I gotta lock in"?
Probably like 7th grade English is when I like started like English and history, those subjects where you have to do writing and stuff.
Yeah.
That's and even once I matured in that aspect for those subjects, I also started doing it for like math and other like I would.
Yeah.
But I probably could have kept fooling around in math, but I just chose not to at that point.
Now, did you go to Morton, or are you still in Gifted
I
and
went to
Talented?
Cuss. Yeah, I was still in Gifted and Talented.
So you're Gifted and Talented. What is that like? What is a Gifted and Talented program like? You hear stories, a lot of work, a lot of stress. You know, I mean,
Depends on the teacher. Like, there's a few teachers that definitely like pack up on the work. My 7th and 8th grade English teacher definitely gave us so much. Like, she gave us so much work. But then I wasn't too stressed about it. But the thing about Gifted and Talented is just it keeps you with like those same 40 kids for like 5 years, and like
who are like-minded, who are driven academically. Sure.
But then you also don't get to meet like new people as well. Which like at Durfee, obviously, like now I'm branching out, meeting new people, but like you're locked in with those same 40 kids, and a lot of other kids are like mad that they're not in the Gifted and Talented program, so they kind of like hate on the Gifted and Talented. Yeah. Not like bullying or anything.
No, it happens. It's just a socialization of young men.
Yeah, it's just a separation.
You see that in sports with freshmen and seniors. You see it in a million different ways.
Yeah.
The socialization of school and how you handle that is almost important as the academic, right?
Yeah.
You would think, right? I mean,
definitely.
you're going to want to go to school, right?
Yeah.
You're going to want to have fun. You want to be part of that socialization. Yeah. William talked about he got that from the clubs he joined at Durfee.
Yeah, he's in a lot of clubs.
And then he started hanging around and he started being around it, and it worked for him. You know, that's how he kind of found his way. How did you find your way socially?
Definitely, I'd say sports. I played golf and tennis. And going in, I didn't really know that many upperclassmen. Like, I had my older cousin Justin Caron, but that was about it. And then playing on those teams, you meet those new upperclassmen.
So sports was your socialization. That's that experience.
Definitely.
Okay, sure. So you can get it from the clubs at Durfee, you can get it from the sports. Essentially, it's about being involved, right?
Yeah, you got to get involved.
Yeah, you got to be involved. Talk about the involved student versus the uninvolved student.
I think the involved student has a lot more fun too. Like, especially, like, you see the involved students, they're like always walking around like wanting to do something, like help the community.
Yeah.
But like even every November when we're having pep rally and stuff, like, and that's a big competition between
I thought I was supposed to go to the pep rally this year. I thought Nick Souza had big plans for me at the pep rally.
Yeah, you were supposed to. I don't know, Nick.
Man,
Nick
listen, I'm available. Nick can get me, man.
Well, Nick's a senior now. Maybe
I have a fee. No,
you have a fee?
I have a fee, so we gotta work that out.
All right.
Nah. That's great. So the sports, the academics. Talk about the balance of both. Have you ever been in trouble for underachieving academically?
Not in high school. In middle school, I think I had like a B or something in English, and my parents were like, "You could definitely do better than that." But like in high school,
but they didn't stop you from playing any sports or anything like that.
Not punished, just like you can do.
What's your grandfather say about that, B?
I don't think. I mean, just the same thing. Like, they know I can do better.
A little less politically correct than your.
Probably.
That's awesome. So you get to Durfee, right? Now you're a big fish in a small pond with the 40 students there. Now it's the colors of the rainbow. It's wild.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's an amazing experience. Me and your mom went to school, and there was 4,000 or 5,000 kids in there, and your dad. So talk about your first day at Durfee.
First day at Durfee. So I remember, first
you must have been nervous the night before, right?
I was nervous the night before, definitely. But, like, you walk into the school, and so when they have orientation, it's like the seniors are teaching the freshmen and stuff. But, like, so when they do that, like, a lot of the freshmen, like, by the time you get in, you have no idea where you're going and stuff. And I just walked into West Main, and I remembered where my first period class was, but I had no idea how to get from West Main to that first period class. So I'm like walking around, like looking for people I know, like trying to figure, because I knew I had a few classes with those people, and like it's just like it's such a, once you get used to it, it's really easy to navigate.
Yeah.
But it's just such a big school that like the first like 2-3 days you just have like no idea how to get from one place to
But not everything is easy,
yeah.
right? And doesn't that help you?
Yeah.
I mean, think about like going to the first day of Durfee and adjusting and meeting new friends and finding your own way. That's kind of what life's about. As you know, I mean, and the more you're gonna find out, it's more like that. But it's the education life that we get back to, correctly?
Yeah, I agree.
I've seen you guys, racially diverse friends, teammates, all of it. What is going to school with people that grew up maybe a little differently than you taught you?
I mean, I think you develop the ability to empathize with these people, and like you can understand their situation because like when you're listening to them, and like it's something that like maybe I've never experienced, but like later in life, if there's someone else who like has a different background than me, I can connect with them because I've made friends that have lived very different lives.
And that is important.
It is.
Is it important to you?
It's important to me.
Is that something that you learn at Durfee?
I definitely think that's a big part of like what you learn at Durfee. Like meeting, you got to be willing to meet new people, be friends with people that aren't like you, and like, yeah.
Because ultimately, that's what college is going to give you, correct?
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's what life is going to shove down your throat, correct?
Yes.
So getting it done, like do you feel better prepared for college in this because of the background and where you went to school?
I definitely think I would be more prepared going from Durfee, like with that social aspect, than if I was just to go to a private school because like that was just like all white kids because you learned about different lifestyles from yourself.
What are some of the other things that you've learned by going to Durfee? Talk about some of the teachers that have made an impact on you, or guidance counselors, or advisors, or does any of them jump out at you?
My math teacher freshman year, Miss Mullen, definitely helped me. She, like because my family's like business oriented. I was always planning on going into business. Yeah. But then she introduced me into computer science, and I'm very thankful for that because I was just going to go into business just to go into business, but now I've, like, found something that I actually want to do. So, like, I think that's important, too, that the teachers, like, care for you and, like, they want you to find, like, that pathway.
Tell me about some other teachers.
Mr. McNeely, my physics teacher this year, I had a physics teacher last year. I'm not going to say his name, but not the best teacher. But I took physics.
We'll edit that part out.
Yeah. And then physics teacher this year, like a big improvement. And it's just been like last year, my physics class was probably the hardest class I've ever taken. And this year, I'd say the content's even harder, but my teacher's like a really good teacher.
And we're talking about a middle school, a public school, a public high school that gets dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
That people dog out their educational capabilities, that people disrespect, all kinds of fake news in the Herald News, on social media, and yet you're number one in your class, and you are still being challenged.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Academically. What does that tell you?
It tells you that the teachers are pushing all the students to do their absolute best.
Yes, that's great. If somehow, some way, I mean, all that's going on, the rainbow of life at Durfee, that 1% or 1% student like yourself is still being challenged academically. That shows a tremendous thing about the character and the capabilities of some of the teachers at Durfee.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really good teachers at Durfee, and people talk about like Durfee like it's like a bad education and stuff, but I totally disagree. I think the teachers do a really good job there.
When I went to college, and my mother will tell you more English inclined, writing camp. I was never really. I've had some of the great Bill Kelly, some great English teachers at BC, but I was so well prepared that I was never really seriously challenged because of having Bill Malloy and John Byron and Margaret Chris, some of the great teachers that I had.
Yeah.
Tell me some of the teachers that you think that you've taken aside from physics that have prepared you for the academic load that you're ready to take on?
I think my freshman year English teacher, Mrs. Bernier,
Yeah.
definitely helped me a lot with my writing.
Yeah.
I could not write for, like, I was such a bad writer. I had no idea how to do
Really?
it. And then from that freshman year, from beginning to end of year, my writing improved so much.
Did you admit that academic weakness to your parents? Did you say, "Listen, I'm good at everything, but I'm struggling writing. I feel like I can be better."
No, yeah, I definitely.
How did you get the help to get you better? Was it one teacher? Was it a combined effort?
It was a combined effort, but I'd say if I had to single out like which teacher did the most, it would be that freshman year English teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
And what did she teach you?
She taught me, like, definitely you got to focus on like the theme and stuff. That's the main thing, and like
The art of writing a story. Did you go through all of that?
yeah,
Sure.
and you got to be consistent throughout when you're like writing a essay and stuff. Like I think consistency is key, and you got to stick to your points and like make sure you hit every point you.
Sure. Now, do you like to write now?
No, I still hate writing.
Talk to me about some of the misconceptions of Durfee. What angers you the most? What is the biggest untruth that's told about Durfee?
I think it's just the generalization that like Durfee students like don't try, don't care about anything. Like when some of these students are struggling, but like they're really still trying to do their best and trying to work hard in school, but like just because they're not like I don't know, not as smart maybe.
Well, Durfee doesn't have the ability to cherry pick their students.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like we can't say, "Oh, you're a bad kid. You can't come here. Oh, your grades aren't good enough.
Yeah.
You can't come here." Like the Catholic schools and the charter schools and the vocational schools have that luxury of doing. Any kid who wants to go to Durfee is welcome.
Yeah.
So, again, you get that balance in the experience in life. Have you met any friends that have struggled academically, that have turned it around? That let's talk about the other side of it. You know, not the gifted and talented. Talk about some of your experience, whether with teammates or classmates of yours or friends that don't have the life that you and me had with the parents that we had as Durfee students. Talk about how you've found a way with them, some of them in your life.
Well, I think Will Silva was, like, as we said before, he's a great example, was, like, getting, like, I remember in our, like, freshman year bio class and stuff, he was getting, like, C's and stuff and, like, just didn't really care.
D's, skipping school.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, missing school some days, like, just didn't really care at all. And then sophomore year, he all of a sudden, like, realized, like, I'm not sure what was that at the end of the day was that motivation, but he realized, like, I got to do good. I got to go to college. Like,
But Will Silva is a unique case because he went from that academic,
yeah.
Not caring in the gutter to Brown. How about a kid that maybe you might have played sports with that might say, okay, I'm not going to get into Brown, but I need a 2-3 if I want to play sports in college, or I need this if I want to get into BCC or get into UMass Dartmouth.
Yeah.
Talk about students like that you've come across.
Yeah, there's definitely some of my friends who were like, just at first, like freshman year, like just saying like I don't really need to try in school, like because I'm not gonna do anything. Like I'm just gonna end up going to BCC, and like what's the point of trying? Like I don't really need to do anything in school, and I can just end up at BCC. But then throughout like high school, like maybe like their guidance counselors like have talked to them and like shown them the path, and like you got to get your grades up so you can go to a 4-year college, get that degree. Sure. And there's definitely been
people don't even realize how difficult it is to get into UMass Dartmouth nowadays.
Yeah.
So do you see kids through the educational process at Durfee and through that funnel saying, okay, like, I want to get to a 4-year college, or maybe I might want to go to UMass Amherst, or I might want to go to Stonehill or something different. Do you see that struggle academic for them too, and them getting help they need to get there?
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to be number one.
No, yeah, exactly.
And not everybody's going to be Bill Silva. But there are 1,000 different struggles. Do you see those students getting help and getting to where they need to be as well.
Yeah, the guidance counselors definitely are great at Durfee.
I keep hearing that.
They care a lot about their students, and like if you're not doing the right thing, like they're gonna definitely like have a meeting with you, like address it, and like
Sure.
not in a mean way, but like
No, hold you accountable.
Yeah, hold you accountable. Make sure you get your act together.
Sure. How many kids are you going to graduate with? You know how many kids are in your class?
As of December or January, it was like 480, so it might be a little less than that now.
Good for you. We talked about. Let's do a little role play here. I'm a parent.
Okay.
I'm thinking of Conley or Diamond. You're pitching Durfee. Tell me why I should go to Durfee before I should go to Diamond, or I should go to Conley.
I think you should go to Durfee before Diamond or Conley because, unlike those schools, I think Durfee provides a lot of diversity.
Sure.
And like we've been saying, if you want to get those social opportunities and that social education and interact with all these different types of people, the theater kids, the basketball players, black, white,
Spanish,
Hispanic, it provides a totally different experience that, like, especially at like Conley, you couldn't get.
But don't they offer many more academic programs?
That's true too. If you're looking for advanced classes, AP classes, Durfee provides, I think, like maybe about 20 AP classes, which is like a lot. So they offer a ton of advanced, but they also have the career opportunities too. If that's not what you're looking for, they have stuff for everyone: engineering classes, computer science classes,
and the resources are more plentiful. Correct?
Yes, I would say so.
Good. And that would be if somebody close to you was thinking about going to Conley or Diamond, would you feel incumbent on going to them and say, hey, listen, you might want to rethink this.
Yeah.
This is
definitely.
How can Durfee help their image? I said they need a massive PR program.
Yeah.
A massive PR push. TV, commercials, social media, takeovers, all of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard because everyone just highlights the little bad things that happen at Durfee.
Sure.
Like, and those are what's being emphasized. But, like,
there's
because
so much. That's what sells.
Yeah.
Okay? But nobody is combating that.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying, well, hey, that's not really true.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the truth there. And with social media, there's all kinds of fake news and all kinds of nonsense that goes on. Does it bother you?
It definitely can get annoying at times, like the constant, like,
drip
yeah.
of it. Sure. But you're not going to let that happen, my man, and I'm not going to let it I'm not going to let it happen either. Talk about some of the schools that you may find you think that you may have applied to that you're thinking about going to.
My number one school right now, I hear back in a few weeks from, is Georgetown.
Whoa!
So that's where I'm hoping I get into, but we'll see.
La Jolla.
Yeah.
That's great. Unbelievable school. Unbelievable place. Unbelievable campus.
Yeah, the campus.
The surrounding suburbs are unbelievable. Old town. Yeah. I can see that. What's in your future? What do you want to be?
Want to be a computer programmer.
Computer programmer? Like,
yeah.
give me the ideal computer programming job you want to do.
I mean, I just want to code, but I also don't know yet if I would also want to, like, form my own computer, like, programming business or just be a strictly coder, like, or maybe even go into cybersecurity.
Give me something how coding can help a business. Like, how can you help a business like mine?
How could you?
Or a business. Give me someone else. Give me so people who don't know what coding is, kind of break it down in layman's terms, like what it would be.
I mean, coding's like seen like everywhere basically because you just gotta. It's like when we're using our computers, like you just code basically to solve our problems because with the algorithms that they make, it's so much quicker and easier to do than if a human was doing it. So it makes everything for us so much easier. Like, are there programs? Like, give me a computer program that has like helped. Like, give me an algorithm that has like made a huge impact, or even just like Google or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So something like that.
Yeah.
You Google, your YouTube, your search engines.
Yeah.
It makes the computers easier and more acceptable for the lay person, right? For the
Yes.
most part.
Yes.
Sure. Now, how did you get into that?
So, my freshman year math teacher was also the teacher of the AP Computer Science class. And she loved me as a student. Like, I was doing really well in her class, and she just recommended me for the AP Computer Science to take sophomore year. And I really had no idea anything about computer science, but she was like, you don't really need to know. Like, it's like an introduction class. We teach it to you. And she was completely right. And, like, I just love the problem-solving aspect of that class. Like, when you have to, like, they give you something, it's very logical thinking, and I'm a logical person, so.
Sure. Was Bill Gates and Marx, they were coders too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch the movie, the Facebook?
I haven't watched
Do you have
it.
anybody that you look up to in the industry that you're like, wow, it would be cool to be like this guy?
I haven't really thought about it that much. I mean, I don't even really know what I want to do with computer science.
That's all right.
But, like,
That's all right.
I just know I want to go into it, and then when I get to college, like, explore the different, like, fields you could go into in computer science, and, like, that's, like, my main goal in college. Like, figure out where I want to go in
Does
that.
Georgetown have a good computer science program?
Yeah, it has a decent computer science program.
What are some of the other schools you're thinking about going to?
I also applied to Boston College. I got accepted into UMass Amherst. Accepted into RPI. I also applied to, let me think. I can't even think right now. Georgia Tech.
All right.
So, yeah.
So you're willing to go away?
Yeah. Definitely willing to leave.
Good. And so you leave a little brother behind.
Yeah.
Really? How was his class rank?
He is 4, I think.
That's funny. That is great. That is great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for being who you are and doing what you do. Okay, you're tremendous. Your family has many accomplishments.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? But they don't have a number one graduate yet.
Not yet.
And that's awesome.
Hopefully we finish.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We keep getting better. We keep getting better.
Yep.
My man Josh Pansley, did you hear about number one in his class? Durfee is an educational life at Durfee Rocks, right here. Yeah. We'll be back. Did I call you by your right name or call you your father's name?
You called me by my father's
Unbelievable.
name. Tom Pantler.
Guy, I should know better than that more than anybody in the world. I get Chris all the time. Thomas Pansley, son of Melissa and Josh.
Yep.
Pansley, number one in his class, big into the computer science, embraced everything the Florida Public Schools had to offer him, and agrees like many that Durfee is not only an education in math and sciences and clubs and athletics, but also an education in life. And I think the young man is right, and I think he's going to do big things. So, thank you for coming on. We got your boy Nick. Then we're gonna interview all of you individually. Then we're gonna have a little party in here, and we're gonna get everybody in here.
All right.
To do it. Thank you so much, Durfee Rocks.
Thank you for having me.
I am Hurricane. We'll see you next time. Episode 2 of Durfee Rocks.